everyone, welcome back to Royal Fashion News, and yes, we are bringing back the best and worst fashion looks of the week. This program is meant to be fun, and so what I do is I look at each royal lady's outfit, I evaluate it a bit, give you guys my thoughts and opinions. You are welcome to disagree, but some people take this very seriously. Guys, this is supposed to be a little bit fun, a la E's Fashion Police way back in the day. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna do it a little bit differently this week. So I'm gonna start off with Queen Letizia of Spain. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over each royal lady's looks, because we've had a couple of tours, we've had events where royal ladies have been wearing a lot. Maxima has been out quite a bit this week, and I have some strong opinions about some of her looks. But we're gonna start off with Queen Letizia of Spain here, and she is wearing this mint dress. It's a midi dress here, and I think this is lovely. Her accents are python, which I think work. I think this is definitely a color we don't see Letizia in a lot, so I like that she went in this. And I think it's also a bit of a different style. And so I like that she's branching out a bit, and she does this every once in a while. I think it looks fantastic. And I also love how she's embracing the gray, guys. She has this nice gray streak in her hair that's growing. And I kind of love that. It's natural, it's great. It's just embracing life, and I think that's absolutely fabulous. So bravo to her there. And then we also have her at another event here. So she was actually visiting Croatia on a conference on the prevention of childhood obesity. And I don't have a lot of other pictures of this look, but it's a Hugo Boss suit. Letizia wears a lot of Hugo Boss, and she always looks fabulous in it. She is a woman who really looks stunning in a suit. It's really something that works well on her. She was a former presenter for CNN International, and so she is somebody who's able, I think, to really pull off these business attire looks really, really well. I like the clutch, and I also think it's just a fun look from her, and it's very, very summery, which I really like. So yes, apparently this is new, so the suit might still be available, but yeah, she looks absolutely stunning here. I wish we had more pictures of it, but a couple of the other ones I found, the quality wasn't great. So I just decided not to go ahead and go with that. All right, next we have Crown Princess Victoria in this blouse and skirt number. So she's actually wearing the same shoes here that she wore to the coronation. And I love that this guy, Michael, decided to get a close-up of her shoes. We have Mr. Carlos from Spain. He always gets a close-up of Queen Letizia's shoes, so I appreciate that. The shoes are Jimmy Choo, and I don't think this is too bad. Victoria's kind of hit and miss for me, generally more miss. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing I've seen her in, and so I just think this isn't too bad. And we also have her at a childhood event for her sister. I think this close-up here is lovely of her, actually, and we have another shoe shot, which I love. So she stood in for her sister because her sister, Princess Madeline of Sweden, was originally supposed to attend this event. Childhood is the charitable foundation that Queen Sylvia of Sweden started. And so Madeline works closely with it, but unfortunately her daughter had some sort of accident and broke her arm, and she has to have surgery. And so Madeline was just unable to attend. She lives in the United States. So Victoria stepped in, and I think she looks lovely here. My thing with Victoria is she wears these very feminine looks, which I think look great on her, but her hair never matches. Her hair is always severe, and her outfit is very feminine. And so I wish she could figure out how to do, because she likes to pull her hair back, and I totally get that. How to make it look a bit softer, I think would be my thing. But otherwise, I think this is a lovely look. And then we also have a casual look from Victoria, which I think she rocks here a lot, and I think this is a amazing kind of look. She's outside. She is trying to go to all the different various national parks in Sweden. And so she just, I think, is a royal who just absolutely loves and adores her country. And so I just really think that's amazing, and so I just think this is a great look from her. She looks great in casual wear, and she just, I think, really does enjoy it. She enjoys her country and being out in the wild, kind of like Catherine. Okay, so next we actually have a tour going on in Norway, and this is also rather interesting because the King of Norway, King Harald, is actually in the hospital. He has an infection again. I feel like every couple of months we get a new hospitalization from him, so his health is not really in the greatest place right now. So because this is a state event, Crown Princess Mette-Marit and her husband Crown Prince Haakon have to step up here. And so this is the outfit she wore for the arrival of the Italian Prime Minister, and I actually like this. I don't like the hat when they're inside because I feel like it shadows her face too much, but outside I think it gives her enough light. I like The coat, I like the scarf. I think it does, it's, you know, the scarf could be perhaps a little bit much, but it also adds a bit of dimension to it. I think this is a nice look from her. Sometimes her stuff is also kind of like, but I don't think this is too bad here. I think she looks pretty great. And they don't wear hats a lot in Norway, so I know that's a bit different for her. So I think it does look pretty good here. And they also had a state banquet, and so she wore a tiara. She wore the amethyst necklace tiara. And I think she has this dress actually in several different colors. She has it in red, white, and now navy. Actually, in some of the other pictures I initially saw, it was in, I thought it was black, but when you look at the close-up, it is definitely in navy. Obviously, the sash that she's wearing represents Italy because obviously she is hosting the Italian Prime Minister. Usually when royals go to different countries, they exchange orders, even if that country doesn't particularly have a royal family. Italy did not actually have, they had a king for a very brief period of time. Italy was made up of a variety of smaller kingdoms like Germany, and so there wasn't a particular king. They do actually have members of their various royal branches, and so, but anyways, so she is wearing this here. I don't think it's too bad. I don't know if the fit is great here. I feel like I've seen her wear this in other colors and it looked better, so I don't know quite what's up with that. And now that I'm thinking about it, she's wearing amethyst with navy. It looks, is it black? Let me know what you guys think. Is this dark navy or black? Let me know, because now I'm confused, because I feel like it should be dark navy, but then why wear the amethyst? Because that doesn't totally work. So now it's one of those things, you know, is it gold or is it blue or whatever that confusion on the internet was several years ago. Let me know what you think this color of this is, because I was thinking it was black originally, and then I saw it in up close and I thought it was navy, and now I'm wondering if it's actually black, because that would make more sense with the amethyst. But anyways, I like we got this side shot. I actually figured it out. This website I got these pictures from is entirely in Swedish, so I managed to figure out how to grab some pictures, because a lot of times it's harder to find pictures of the Scandinavian royals, and so I like that we got this side shot here. I think that's great. And so, and then the next day she wore this kind of interesting pantsuit ensemble. Her style is definitely a little bit different. I don't think this is necessarily bad here. I kind of like it. It's different in a good way, I think. And so we see it here also as well without the coat on, because obviously it's in Norway, it's cold. So I think this is a really good look from her. I don't think it's too bad at all. Obviously, she will probably have to get used to this, you know, maybe even sooner rather than later. She does actually have chronic pulmonary fibrosis, and so she is struggling with her health a bit. This is something that she'll actually live with for the rest of her life, and it can be life limiting. So this is definitely, she is going to have to get used to a bit more of this, and so I'm really hoping for great things for her, especially in regards to her health. This was a really good showing from her, so I'm so excited that she has this opportunity. Okay guys, so next we have Crown Princess Mary. And so I found more pictures of this, so hopefully I can. And so I love this red dress number. She actually, her and Catherine could be doppelgangers. They look a lot alike. I think her style is fabulous. It's a lot like Letitia's in a way. It's very streamlined, and I think she looks particularly good here. I really love the red on her. The red is just smashing. And so I think this is a wonderful, wonderful color and look for her. I really, really do like it. And so I'm so excited to see that. And obviously as well, some people are like, look, and they go, oh my gosh, that's Catherine. It's not Catherine, but yeah, they definitely look a lot alike, guys. And so I think she looks great here. She was also at another event where she wore a green pantsuit. And again, I think the green pantsuit is awesome. We've seen this before. I really, really like it. I think it's great. And I like her with her glasses on too. I think she really rocks the glasses look. So I think these were both great showings for her, and she just is able to get that very professional, very put together look, and I really appreciate that from royal ladies who can do it, because I think it's important. Not only do you look great, but you actually put a lot of intention into your look. And I think Crown Princess Mary is one of the best royals when it comes to that. So next we have a, perhaps you could say royal adjacent, but this is one of my favorite royal ladies to follow. This is Beatrice Borromeo, and she is actually Italian aristocracy, and she married Pierre Cazzaroghi, and so that is the son of Princess Caroline, and so the grandson of Grace Kelly. And so she's out with her two sons at looks like a Formula One event. She is a brand ambassador for Dior, and so she is wearing a Dior blazer here, jacket, and I think that looks great. Apparently, I have heard that if you buy one of these from Dior, they fit it to you. So while it's not a super exciting outfit, I think it is great. I think her sense of style is really connected to Dior. I think they complement each other really, really well. So I'm so glad that she has that opportunity. I always find it funny that apparently now they're trying to, that Harry and Meghan apparently have that deal. It's like, well, why do you need Harry and Meghan when you have Beatrice and her husband is also a brand ambassador? So I think they both look fabulous. You can actually see him very briefly there behind her head, and they're out with their kids. And she actually is also watching her nephew. So this is Charlotte Katsaragi. That's her son in the front in the hat. So Charlotte is a brand ambassador for Chanel as well. So you got some brand ambassador battles going on. So in Monaco National Day, it'll be the battle between Dior and Chanel, because usually as well, Princess Caroline usually wears Chanel too. So, and now we're moving over to Luxembourg. I actually had a couple people ask for this, and I forgot to mention her look on my video about the coronation look, so I'll go back and talk about it here. So this is Grand Duchess Maria Theresa of Luxembourg, and yeah, this is not a great look. This is not a great look. I don't like the thing hanging down, the long thing. She also, it's like the blazer thing is sleeveless as well. It's just weird looking. She is kind of the Meghan Markle of Luxembourg. She is apparently pretty awful to her staff. She's actually currently under investigation for her treatment of staff, so that's rather interesting. So apparently she is incredibly difficult to interact with. And she's apparently, according, if you believe some of the gossip stuff or the forum stuff, that she has chased away the fiancés or the girlfriends of some of her sons and stuff. So she is not an easy person to work with. She also generally, according to reports, makes her daughters wear, and even her daughter-in-law, she gives them her hand-me-downs, which don't look good because she's pretty short and she has a bigger body shape. And so every time those girls put those dresses on, they always pretty much look awful. So she seems like covets the budget a bit there as well, because she generally goes for pretty expensive things. And so we also had them at another event. So she's wearing this bright pattern suit jacket here. I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely, you know, showing her. I think this is appropriate for a woman who's a grandmother, who's getting older. I think it's fine. But generally too, bright prints are just not my thing. It's a lot of print. It's a lot of print. Okay, so next we'll talk about Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. So they are here at the big lunch. So this was after Charles's coronation on Sunday. This was right before the concert. And so Beatrice and Eugenie are there meeting members of the public. I kind of wish I had gone to this because they would have been kind of fun to see and just somebody different to see. And so I will say Eugenie, and she may have just given birth because her sister, or she's about to have a baby shower because her sister was just seen with balloons that said baby. So Eugenie may be about to pop here, but I just don't think this is a particularly flattering dress on a pregnant woman. It also is very low cut, which again, you could say is perhaps maybe a smidge inappropriate given that she's at a public engagement. It's not necessarily bad. I'd like to see her in it when she's not pregnant. I don't think it would actually be bad when she's not pregnant. I just think it's a little much here. I honestly feel a bit uncomfortable for her because it looks like this is not a pregnancy dress. So it looks like it's pulling really tightly around her. This is a Gabriella Hearst dress, so it's actually quite expensive. And so again, it's not bad. It's just, it looks uncomfortable. And then Beatrice, I actually don't think this is bad. I like the skirt, I like the jacket. She just looks a little bit, you can almost say messy, especially in the pictures with some of her hair. I don't know about the look entirely. It's not bad, but it's not great. So, but here we have another event with Beatrice, and she does this book event, this book award event here at I believe it's the Oliver Award. So this is actually kind of an interesting outfit because it's actually a dress, and then she's wearing a shirt underneath it, a longer sleeve shirt from Zara. And I appreciate the ingenuity here. I'm not sure if it totally works, but at the same time, I appreciate that you're doing something kind of different here. You're pulling in this shirt that doesn't go with the dress really totally, and I think it does kind of work. So I give her mad props. I love people who think a little bit outside the box, and I think that's definitely what's going on in this instance. So I don't know, again, if it totally works, but I appreciate her trying something different here with her fashion look. I think I always applaud that, guys. I really do. I think that's fun because that's what fashion is supposed to be. Not that I'm super creative, but I always admire people who are. All right, guys, so we have a lot of Max this week. This is Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, and her fashion is fun, and it's also funky. So yeah, so we have this, and Daily Mail called this like a splash of sunshine or something. I'm like, I don't think sunshine is mustard. So this is a mustard print dress. I don't think mustard is a bad color on her. I just don't like this dress, and I don't like the print. It's a little much. So not a huge fan. They also did a tour of the Frisian Islands. So she arrived in this pink suit, which I don't think is bad. I don't think it's bad. I'm not entirely sold on the shirt underneath, but I do love this picture of her with the flowers. I think she looks really fabulous here. And I also love those earrings. She actually has them, I think, in blue and in pink. I think they're gorgeous. Actually, I wouldn't mind having those earrings. There's actually a pair of Catherine's earrings that I like really, really want one day, but they're like 5 figures. They're very expensive. But again, I don't think this is too bad a look. Max can be an interesting dresser because she can get a little bit messy. And we see this a bit, but I don't hold this against her. Apparently it was raining a lot there. And her hair, I think she struggles with her hair a lot. So I don't mind this too much. I do think pink's a good color on her, and it's at least a little bit toned down, and her jacket apparently is Burberry. So I think she has great fun. She's one of those royals who I think really genuinely like totally gets it and loves it, and she does really well with people. She's just one of those naturally like really, really charismatic people, which I think is kind of awesome. And it's something that's needed for a queen, because I don't think necessarily Meghan, that her interest and stuff in being kind of the center of attention would have been too bad as a royal, except for the fact that she couldn't be the center of attention because she was never going to be queen. And that's when it becomes a bit of a problem, because you can't be attention seeking and be the second fiddle. So Maxima, I think, generally tends to be a little attention seeking, but at the same time she is queen and she owns it. Oh gosh. Okay, so this next look, it's a mustard suit, and this is all sorts of bad. This is way too much mustard. I like Maxima, but this is a lot of mustard. Lot of mustard. And again, she doesn't look bad in mustard, but I don't like the fascinator. I think the fascinator looks a bit cheap and just kind of placed on her head. It's just not great. There's something there's just not much to it. They don't wear a ton of fascinators in the Netherlands, but she does tend to wear them more. And she wears some big hats too and looks fab. I just really hate this fascinator. It kind of reminds me of the white one Meghan wore to the wedding. I think it could work in different circumstance, but the suit itself is so over the top. I think it would have been actually much better to just have a like cool headband or something. I think that would have been better. The suit was big enough by itself. You need something, I think, a little bit more toned down. But Max is all about go big or go home. You got to appreciate Max. She always is go big or go home. So I think that it is Max. So that's what we'll say there. And then she also wore this cream outfit in the evening time, and I don't think this is too bad. I kind of like it. And I think it works for her. I don't like the earrings, but again, Max, she likes big stuff. So that's what that is. Okay, so her latest event is, okay, I will be 100% honest. I understand the interest in animal print, but I'm not a fan of animal print. And so I don't think this is too bad. It's not for me. I'll be totally honest. It's not for me. But does she rock this? Yeah. Is it a little loud? Yeah, but that's Max. That's totally and completely Max. So I give her a pass because that's just her. So I think she rocks this pretty well. She always brings the bling too. You always gotta appreciate that Max brings the bling. So anyways, guys, I think that's a pretty good look. Okay, guys, so next we have Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh. I keep on wanting to say the Countess of Wessex, but no, she's the Duchess of Edinburgh. And she is at a garden party with Catherine, the Princess of Wales. I will be totally honest, guys. This is definitely a hugely Little House on the Prairie. I don't mind the hat. The dress could use with a couple less frills. So I think the color works, but almost the dress is so much that I think the hat actually needed to be toned down a smidge if you're gonna go with the dress like that. And again, I would be fine with the dress without the V frill. I think the V frill is just like a step too much. The pattern of the dress is already busy. You don't need to add this extra ruffle to it to really highlight things. I just, yeah, it's definitely Little House on the Prairie, so not totally my favorite. And so, okay, and she usually does hit it out of the park. She usually looks great. I think she looks great. Her and Catherine complement each other, and they're both wearing about the same color. So that's kind of an interesting, funny tidbit. So, but anyways, guys, I just, yeah, it's okay, but it's definitely not best. Okay, so now we have Princess Sophia of Sweden, and she is wearing this, I don't know what you would call this. It's there. It's off the shoulder ruffle thing. I don't think this is particularly attractive. And she has like these huge bell sleeves. This is just way too much. This is way too much. So she's actually at a Beyonce concert. And so that's, I guess that is concert attire. That's not bad, but I just don't think that's great. And I would hate to see it too, but I don't like her next outfit as well. So this is a flower suit, and somebody compared it to a sofa, and I don't think they're necessarily wrong. A sofa or wallpaper, I think, would both be a correct description of this dress. So what I do like about this suit is the pants and the blazer, but perhaps not together. I think together it's too much. It's way too much together. I actually do have 1 or 2 floral blazers, which I think are kind of cool, that I haven't worn because it's hard to fit something like that. But I think if she had gotten pants that perhaps matched one of the colors of the flowers, especially that more perhaps rust red in there, I think it would have been okay. Or maybe green that would have worked. Or you could do the pants and a green top. I think it all together, especially when you see the full look, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah. So I would have to say both of her outfits I've seen this week are bits of fails. Okay, so next let's get to my, I would say, best and worst looks of the week. Number 1 would have to be Catherine, the Princess of Wales, in this Elie Saab number. I always like this. I think this is fabulous. I was so excited that she finally had a piece from Elie Saab. She debuted this in 2018 or 19, I believe, at Royal Ascot. And we haven't really seen her in much like this, really. I think this is a beautiful look. She really wore it in the exact same way she did last time. So I think my only critique here is that it would have been fun to see her maybe do something a smidge different, because she used the same shoes, the same hat. The only thing she changed were the earrings, so I think maybe going with different shoes might have been better, might have been funner, and maybe a different hat. But other than that, I think, again, this is an amazing, amazing look, and it's great that she recycled all of it. And I actually had a shirt, which I may still have, that was a bit of a knockoff of this in lilac, and so it is really pretty. It's very, very feminine, and I think it's just a fabulous, fabulous look. I don't really have anything I dislike about it. I've always thought this was wonderful looking, and I think it looks great on her. And it's also, I just feel like, a bit different. We don't see a ton of this color on Catherine. She doesn't really have a ton of, well, she's adopted it more, but for a while she didn't have a ton of, she usually wore dresses, and that was it. So this skirt and blouse situation is something she didn't have a lot of. So I just, again, appreciate that we have something different from her. Okay, guys. So for my worst look of the week, I have to give it to, I can't not give it to her, because this is just bad. I have to give it to Meghan Markle and her dreadful, dreadful hiking outfit. This is just bad. Who wears this? The socks are awful. They have weird, if their socks are awful, she just doesn't even look particularly good in this. And I know she's supposed to be on a hike, but why are you wearing a bandana? Why, if you're going on the hike, why are you wearing $100,000, $200,000 worth of your jewelry on a hike in the middle of nowhere? And so it's just, yeah, it's just a lot. Because she's even wearing her like 3-carat pinky ring on her finger. So I just think this look is super weird. Obviously, a lot of people have made comments about the weird thing that's going on in her stomach area. I think it's either the band of the leggings, or it's something to carry your phone, something weird like that. Some people have suggested maybe she had weights on her ankles. That could be totally the case. But I feel like her friends look so normal and she looks so weird. Because she's almost doing that thing where you're overdressing so much because you're trying to go incognito that you're actually drawing more attention to yourself because you're kind of overdoing it. So that's my opinion there. I just think this looks dreadful. I think she looks dreadful here. I think she just looks a bit silly with the bandana and the hat and the glasses. I think she needed the sunglasses, but you can almost tell that she's trying to hide so much that she's actually drawing more attention to herself because she looks so ridiculous compared to her friends. Her friends look so casual and she looks like she's trying to go incognito and like utterly failing. So it's kind of like James Bond going in and ordering the same drink all the time. If you're really going incognito, you wouldn't be wearing the flashiest clothing, driving the flashiest car. So Meghan is a little bit like that here. It's just a bit too much, especially with all the jewelry. If I was on a hike and I saw a woman walking around with all that jewelry, I'd go, why? Why? Because I actually have a watch that I keep on all the time. And obviously your wedding ring, you wouldn't take that off. And she does have the Cartier Love bracelet, which is hard to take off, I get. But again, it just seemed like a lot for just a hike in the woods, especially that pinky ring. I don't understand why you wouldn't leave that pinky ring at home. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what your best and worst fashion looks of the week were. I'd love to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.